I have Selina Majors on the line with me. We're going to be talking about WoW Women of Wrestling. Season 2 just premiered on AXS last week. Can you talk about your excitement for the new season, what fans can expect from it?
Yeah, I'm really excited about the new season. I tell you, last season we seen a lot of great stuff. We seen Tessa Blanchard come in, and she kind of came in and took over and won our world championship belt. This season we're having tag team series tournament, and we're going to be awarding tag team champions. So pretty exciting. Last season we seen a new world champion. This season we're going to see new tag team champions.
Now, talking about Tessa, she's become a pretty big star in a short amount of time. Can you talk about her rise to the top and her progress that you've noticed since you've been working with her, or just from her beginning, her start in wrestling in general?
Yes, I'd love to. I tell you, I first heard about Tessa Blanchard from a good friend of mine, George South, and he runs a training facility in the Carolinas, and he and I have been friends for over 30 years, and he's a tremendous wrestler and tremendous teacher, and he called me when he first met Tessa, and she was coming to his school, and it's probably been 5 years ago, and he and I, we always keep in touch, and he knew that I was still, even at that time, for the last 20 years, David and I, we've always been working on WOW, and he thought she'd be a great addition. And so when we got up and going and got our platform on AXS Television, Tessa Blanchard was on our show, and she had talked to David, and they made a deal, and, it was a tremendous. And she came in, she does what she says and says what she does, and she became the world champion, and she's a great talent. She's a third-generation wrestler. Her father, Tully Blanchard, who was one of the four horsemen, who is a legend in the wrestling industry. And a lot of people don't know, but his father, Joe Blanchard, was not only a wrestler but ran a territory out in Texas. And another little information, Tessa's stepfather is Magnum TA. And we all know Tully and Magnum had that big rivalry back in the day, and that's her stepfather. So she's got wrestling flowing through her veins, and we call her the Born Legend because truly she is the Born Legend. And I said it from the very first time I seen her wrestle, and I talked to David about bringing her in. I told him, I said, she really is going to make it big in this, in the wrestling business. She just has it. She has the athletic ability. She has a determination. She works hard. She probably works harder than anybody I know because I think she overcompensates for her name. She doesn't want anyone to think that she got where she got in this business because of who she is and her name. She wants to prove it in the ring, and she does time and time again. And by becoming a world champion, hey, you can't get any higher than the championship. And so she is a great asset, and we're so thrilled that she's here in WOW.
Tessa's one of the many names that have been part of WOW's past and present. Is there one person in particular you hope fans take notice of in this season?
Well, there's a lot to take notice. To answer your question is yes, the answer would be the Beast. I've been in the wrestling business for some odd years. I'm 53 years old, and I've been doing it since I was 19 years old. So, and I've been watching it since I was like 10. I've never seen anyone except for maybe China who had the look, the energy, just that something special that when you see someone walk in the room, Hulk Hogan had it, The Rock has it. It's just something special. China had it. You don't see it. You see it seldom, and you barely see it, especially in the women's industry. But the Beast has that. And from the day we all first met her, and she came to try out at the WOW Training Center here in Long Beach, and she talked to David about becoming a wrestler, and it was something that she had always wanted to do. And started training and just it's phenomenal. And I really think that's somebody that everybody should pay attention to. But I don't want to go without saying that this whole, we call it a series, but these all the next 12 episodes is based on a tag team series, a tag team tournament. And like I said, last year we were mostly focusing on the championship. And so this year we wanted to make sure that we didn't not include the tag team championship. So we did a series tournament. So we had one match every week until it went down to the last week. And then we went down to 3 finalists. And in the 3 finalists, and on the last episode, you see who wins the titles. So I think it's going to be really exciting. I think everybody will enjoy it. There's a few other people I'd like to mention to take notice to. One is Jesse Jones, who is an acquaintance of mine. Used to be a really good friend of mine. Used to be my tag team partner. And I brought her in, and she's been wrestling a while. She's got a new attitude here in WOW, and she's really somebody to take notice. She's on a winning streak, and she not only wins, but she makes them tap out. So that's somebody that you really want to pay attention to is Jesse Jones. And I just think the whole group in general, it's entertaining, it's athleticism, it's empowering to women and entertaining to all. We're for all ages. We're very proud of our brand. We have all kinds of styles of wrestling. So if you're a wrestling fan, whether you like the strong style or the lucha style or old school or new school, we try to bring a little bit to WOW for everyone. And that's what we like to be is, inclusive and to just bring something for everybody and something that your children can watch, something that grandma can watch, something that's for all ages. And we just hope everybody tunes in. It comes on Saturday nights on AXS. And we're so excited that this is their second season. And if you hadn't seen it, be sure and tune in and watch it. I think you'll enjoy it.
Now, you mentioned you have been watching since you were 10 years old, but how exactly did you actually start wrestling, making that transition?
Well, my dad, he wanted to be a wrestler. So, like I said, I'm 53, so this is back in the 70s, and my dad wanted to be a wrestler, and he would drag me along. And I don't remember a lot of it. My mom told me that he would take me even when I was like 4 and 5 years old, and I don't remember much about that. But I remember becoming a fan and really wanting to go around the age of about 9 or 10 years old. And it was due to him because he wanted to be a wrestler so bad. And I guess somebody called me, it's funny, the other day I was talking to Teal Piper. She's at our wrestling school, Roddy Piper's daughter, and I was telling her, because I watched her dad wrestle, and she called me, she said, were you a super fan? And I thought about it, and I thought, yeah, I was a super fan, because we would go, all the time we'd go to Friday nights at the Omni in Atlanta, and then we'd go down to the Ted Turner's television station where they filmed it, WCW and Georgia Championship Wrestling, it was called that at that time. And then on Sunday nights, we'd go wherever, Carrollton, Georgia, Cobb County Civic Center. So we were super fans, and I grew up around it, and I knew by probably 10, 12 years old, I seen my first ladies match. And I told my dad on the way home, I was like, that's what I want to do. And he kind of felt for me because he really thought it was a man's sport. And we had been going for years, and we hadn't seen maybe 2 or 3 women's matches ever, and that was just on special occasions. And so I think he probably thought maybe I would outgrow it, but I never did. And so by the time I graduated high school in 1984, that was the year that Wendy Richter, and that whole famous with Cyndi Lauper and all that was going on. And it made me have a little hope and belief that, hey, I really think I can do this. And I've never wanted to do anything else. I always, I got a little saying, say it and pray it. And I do. And I always told everybody this is what I was going to do. And it goes without saying, I feel so blessed every day. I thank God that I'm able to wake up and be part of this business at my age and being a female, that I still have a job and I do so much for WOW. And I just love it so much, and I'm able to pass along the wisdom and the torch and do what the girls of my generation did for me. You know, Peggy Lee, Joyce Grable, Judy Martin, Leilani Kai, Princess Victoria, Wendy Richter, Sherry Martell, Luna, all those girls, they helped pave the way, and they go so unappreciated today. And I'm glad I get the opportunity to say a big thank you because they helped me, and now I want to do the same and pass on to the new generation and try to hold on to some of the tradition and some of, why I fell in love with professional wrestling. And I know things all have to change and evolve, but I like to keep some of the traditional and the old school. And anyways, I went off on it a little bit there, but I'm just so thankful for my journey, and so blessed that we got access so that people can tune in and watch our show, and I'm real thankful for that.
And you mentioned Teal Piper breaking into the wrestling business now and trying to uphold the traditions. Is that something that you look for in new talent, that not only want to become a professional wrestler, but have that knowledge of the past? Or is it like a case-by-case basis where you just look at it at an athlete and what they can do in the ring or on the mic, some other variable?
There's a lot of variables. I guess it's a blender of things, but I do feel honored that, number one, that we have Tessa Blanchard because of who she is, but I feel so honored and special that Teal Piper, with her dad being Roddy Piper, and he was a household name. He's an icon, and the doors that just by being who she is, she could have literally went to any wrestling school out there and probably walked into any major wrestling company, and they would have helped her and put her through the school. But for her to come to our wrestling school and check it out, and the girls didn't even know who she was, and I knew who she was, but we just kind of kept it on the down low because she didn't want anybody to know. She wanted to see if she liked it and give it a try. And I tell you what, I feel so honored that she came back, and I think she fell in love with us just as much as we fell in love with her. And she's great on the microphone. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree when it's on the microphone. So if her wrestling ability in the ring matches anything up to her microphone skills, we've got a future star, and she's going to be just like her dad. So I'm so excited to watch the journey of her grow into that, and feel real honored that she chose our school to come to.
You mentioned the focus is on the tag team championships this season. You have a wrestling school, a cable television deal. Is there any other way you want to see WOW expand that maybe hasn't been talked about by fans, or something that you just think would put it on the next level, bridging from like a season 2 to a potential season 3 or otherwise?
Yes, I'm a big dreamer, as you can see. I feel sometimes still like that 10-year-old kid that's, like, wow, I'm still doing this, and it's still my dream. So I never stop dreaming about it. I hope that WOW can go on bigger and better places, and I hope that we can get into every household, and I hope that we're able to go on tour and tour to different cities, because when I first met David McLean over 30-something years ago, that's how I met him, and we were touring in a tour bus going to city and city and city, and that's how we got to know each other and became friends. And I love touring. It's there's nothing like watching it on television, but when you go to a show and you're a fan and you're live and watching it, it's almost like you're part of the show. And I'd love it for WOW to start touring. I'd love for us to just keep growing and keep getting bigger, keep looking for better talent. I'd probably throw this out there. If you're a girl wrestler, lady wrestler, woman wrestler, whatever you call yourself, and you want to come to WOW, go to our website and send us your information. We want the very best. And if you're sitting at home and listening, and you always dreamed of being in professional wrestling, but you didn't know how to go about it, or you just didn't think you could do it, or you're afraid to get up, make the first step, go to our website, send us the information. And remember, the Beast walked in our school just like everyone else did. Tessa Blanchard walked into George South's wrestling school just like everybody else did. I got lucky. Joyce Grable trained me in her backyard in a wrestling ring. You can live your dream. All you have to do is believe and take that first step. So that's something I'd like to tell everybody, because life is no good unless you're doing what you love to do. And so, on that note, I don't know what else to say. That rambled around, but back to the training school. Send your information. If you want to talk to any of the girls, I have a platform on social media, and you can go on there and look them up and chat back and forth. I'm in an older generation that I don't do much. I just learned Facebook, and then there's something new, Instagram, to learn. So I fall a little bit short on that, but I know all the other girls, they chat back and forth, and so any of the fans want to do that, I know they'd love to hear from you.
All right, Selina Majors, part of WOW Season 2, is on AXS TV right now. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much, and come out and see us if you get a chance, if you're in the Los Angeles area.